you want to see the screen, right? That's
yes.
it, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, no
Thank you.
problem. So the only thing is, and before going for a screen, I just want to discuss something. That's why I just hidden the screen. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, I understand. So Thomas, my training is totally. I just planned the training, like job oriented. We'll discuss less theory and more practical, and also uh, real time oriented. Suppose if there is any issue, how you are going to solve in real time. If always, whenever we are discussing any topic, I'll always take an example real time. We'll start discussing on the particular topic. That way, once you finished your session, you will get an idea that okay, the real time like this. Suppose just assume I have to install SQL Server in my machine. For installing a SQL Server in your machine, you can get some SQL Server dump. Any of your friend or online will download and even install. But it goes to in real time. There are a number of approvals will be there, and so in installing a SQL Server in your local machine, that is not at all a problem, because that is your laptop. You are installing a SQL Server. But when it goes to real time, we have to install the SQL Server in a server. The server someone should build. Who is building the server? Who is the contact person? So those things going in our sessions, each topic I'll start discussing in real time how you get the information, how you are going to work. Okay, because so like this we'll continue the training. Before jump into content and all other stuff, can you please introduce yourself? Okay, what you are expecting from me, what kind of training you are expecting, please let me know.
Okay, my name is Thomas William, and I just finished my +2 here, and apart from that, I'm just looking to get into this IT field where I just want to do specialization in, and I just want to learn something before I go. So I'm a complete fresher.
Okay, so what is your education background?
I don't have any idea about the computers actually.
No. What you have finished +2?
I have done my schooling.
You have done your schooling?
Yeah.
I mean, so +2 is completed, right?
Yeah.
What is your next study?
I'm just trying to get into this IT field where I will be dealing with computers and all that.
Okay,
so
that's I understand.
I want to get into this admin, network admin, and the stuff actually.
Okay, so my question is, so are you eligible for any IT job with this +2 studies?
Yes, I would be joining my computers right next into the college level. So before going into college level, I just want to learn something.
Okay, so you just planning to learn SQL DBA?
Yes.
Okay, Thomas, that's good. And Mayuri, what is your education background, and why you want to learn this SQL Server, and what kind of training you are expecting from trainer?
Coming to me, I completed my BTech, and I'm having a basic knowledge on PLSQL little bit, but I don't know properly what is what. It's for database. So I know something, just I want to learn. That's it.
See, the basic thing I want to explain you, the SQL Server database administration, something very easier to learn because it's a GUI, graphical user interface. Thomas, do you have any knowledge on computer?
Yes.
So what kind of knowledge? What type of works you did or performed in the regular basis in +2 studies?
Study for PowerPoint presentation, Excel works, etc. Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yes, that works. That type of works.
Okay, so right? How you just have some basic knowledge like Windows, all those kind of stuff.
Yes.
Installing a operating system in your local laptop, and drive structure, and giving access to the customer. Those kind of basic knowledge you have, right?
Yes.
Okay, so learning a SQL Server, basic computer knowledge is required. That is more than enough. Okay.
Okay.
And SQL Server is completely different technology. It's not any development, it's a support kind of technology. And in future, as for recent calculations in the market, the next couple of years, like next 10 or 15 years, infrastructure required huge number of resources. Mayuri, can you go on mute please?
Yes, yes.
Hello.
I have been muted myself.
Okay, but still noise is there. Okay. Some, if anyone having any noise, can you go on mute so that you can able to hear properly what I'm saying. If you want to raise your hand, you can unmute and you can ask me. Okay.
Okay.
And SQL Server, next 10 to 15 years, there are huge number of requirement is there in infrastructure. The infrastructure might be SQL Server, SAN storage, networking, Oracle DBA, any other technologies which is support version. And SQL Server is one of the best thing in SQL Server is this is graphical user interface. You're not required to remember any kind of syntaxes, scriptings, all those stuff. There is a basic scripting and basic syntax and basic level of querying is required to work with SQL Server. Okay. And the third one is, yes, how will be the market SQL Server job? If I have completed my training, then what will be the my position in the market? Did I get a job immediately? Yes, you will be getting a job immediately as a SQL Server. It might be in abroad, it might be in offshore like India or else USA and Australia. We have huge number of openings for SQL DBA. Okay, so what kind of candidates companies looking for DBAs? Companies looking the person who have knowledge on SQL Server and having real-time experience, the basic experience, basic knowledge. Okay, that's more than enough. And second thing is people should have problem-solving technologies. SQL Server is not a rocket science to do lot kind of training or learning and practicing. If you concentration on this training, you can learn more and more. And only one thing I'm expecting, Mayuri and Thomas, from you, whenever I'll explain anything in the class, if I said next day you people should go through the documentation and you have to ask the questions. Okay, suppose if I'm giving an excellent training daily basis, but if you are not reading the knowledge day to day, you won't get the knowledge. And end of the session, you simply says that we didn't understand that concepts. Whatever the concepts I'm explaining, please go through immediately the concepts and ask me the question next day. Okay, and I will be sharing, the institution will be sharing to you, Thomas and Mayuri, the complete PDF document for this training. That is not any training material, it's just a notebook. The notebook have complete SQL DBA material, and whatever the questions rising in your mind, in the next line we are discussing in the book. The book is something like tutor and trainer kind of book. And also each topic finished, I'll start discussing interview oriented questions after completing each topic. In case if you are running with lack of time, the end of the session, that means end of the training, we'll discuss the interview questions on each topic. And also I will be sharing nearly 150 to 200 interview questions each topic wise. What kind of issues, suppose installation, what kind of issues we regularly face, and what kind of questions people will ask when you go for interview. Okay, those things I'll explain you. And third is, and I will explain you day-to-day activities. What is a DBA role? That also I'll explain you. Okay, any queries, Thomas and Mayuri?
No, nothing. Carry on.
Okay, so this is the we are going to learn SQL Server 2012 now, and 2014 also released, but in the market we are teaching the SQL Server 2012, and we'll discuss the new advanced topics introduced in 2014 in the last session. Okay, the module 1 will starting with the SQL Server and what is the DBA responsibilities and history of SQL Server version and SQL Server 2005, 2008, 2002 and 2012 service packs and editions of SQL Server and what kind of tools is there in SQL Server when you install a SQL Server, and hardware and software requirements for it to install a SQL Server, and instances. How many instances is there? How many SQL Servers can be installed in one machine? And module 2 is we'll discuss about configuration and installation. Once installation, what type of configuration we need to configure to create a database to use this SQL Server for an application. Okay. Pre-installation step, before installation, what kind of steps required, post-installation step, and installing service packs. And service pack is, after a SQL Server releases, there might be some amendments, there might be some issues. Microsoft releasing a service packs and patches that we'll discuss. Okay. And module 3 will discuss working with the databases, creating a database and database architecture, and adding files and file groups in the database. Okay. And module 4 is security. The security in the sense creating a users to access the database, creating the user to access the instance. These things we'll discuss in module 4. And module 5 is the one of the important thing in SQL Server is backup and restoration. Okay, backup is always required because your application is down, someone is hacked your machine, the server is down, user is not able to connect, some user has deleted the database, some user has deleted some data. So to recover the data, we require that backup. Okay, so backup is one of the key essential part in database admin job. Okay. And automating administration tasks, how to automate the jobs. Okay. And database mail configuration, and creating the maintenance plan, creating the jobs. Okay. And module 7 is the very huge topic we are going to discuss, high availability. High availability is nothing but, assume. So recently in Nepal we have a earthquake. Okay, suppose my company is there in Nepal, my database and my server is there in the Nepal. Okay, so earthquake is happened, suddenly all transactions is running in the Nepal has been stopped. So that time we required some other server, we required some other database should be online immediately. Once the Nepal data center is not working, immediately something should be come up and it should work properly to the customer. So that is called a high availability of database. Okay, there are few kind of terminologies and technologies in the SQL Server. One is a log shipping, another one is a replication, another one is a mirroring. So we are going to discuss in the session how to configure the log shipping, how to monitor the log shipping, and how to work with the log shipping, and what are the issues we regularly face in the real time. And second thing is working with the replication. What kind of replication is there? How to configure the replication, how to manage with the replication, how to monitor the replication we'll discuss. And working with the mirroring, kinds of mirroring, what kind of mirror is there, how to configure the mirror, types of mirroring, how to work with the mirroring we'll discuss in a module 7. And module 8 is advanced administrative concepts, maintenance plans, and monitoring tools, and monitoring and tuning advisor, and SQL Server architecture. There are many resources who is working in a real time. From past couple of years, I asked them to tell me about the SQL Server architecture, but no one is answered properly. They are telling that SQL Server don't have architecture. Yes, SQL Server have the architecture, but normally architecture can be discussed in some institutions in the beginning of the class, but I'm not going to discuss in the beginning of the class, because if you discuss in the SQL Server architecture in the beginning of the class, you cannot understand. Once the topics covered, I'll explain with the SQL Server architecture. The first question, whenever you will go for an interview, they will ask, just explain about the SQL Server architecture. That is one of the important questions people will ask. Okay. And Mayuri, any doubts to you, Thomas?
Nothing, carry on. You can carry.
Okay. And the module 9 is clustering. So we'll be discussing on clustering, how to set up in a clustering and installing a clustering, and weekend patchings, how to perform the patching and cluster environment. That will be discussed in module 9. And module 10 is SQL Server 2012 DBA concept and there is a new thing introduced in SQL Server 2012, that is a always on features that we'll discuss in module 10, and contain databases and new updates in DMVs that we'll discuss in a module 10. Okay, this is the briefly about the SQL Server content what we are going to explain. Okay. So this is one of the PDF book I'm going to share after finishing with these sessions. This PDF book having complete question and answers for each topic. After finishing this training, if you go through these topics, if you go through this book, you will get more knowledge on SQL Server, and it will cover each and every topic, and it's covered interview questions. And these interview questions, normally if you go any interview, the interviewer asking questions from here, from this PDF book only, because it's covered all the topic. The only thing is you should have concentrate on the training. Each topic, whenever I'm discussing, you should understand in real time how you are going to work with this work. So that is very important, so that cracking an interview very easier if you get the knowledge and topic wise and real time oriented, how you are going to work in the real time. Okay. And Thomas, what kind of basic knowledges you have in computer? You never installed any SQL Server in your machine?
No, OS installation. That's SQL Server is not. No experience in SQL.
Okay. And Mayuri, for you, any knowledge on the database, and did you install SQL Server anytime? Are you there?
Yes, I'm hearing.
So did you install any SQL Server any time in your machine?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this is what we are. This is the content. This is the index, and this kind of training I'm going to provide. And each and every topic, the theory will discuss very less, and I'll ask you people to go through the theory in the book, and we do more practical, and we discuss more on real time how we are going to work in the real time environment. Okay. And each and every topic will always discuss the issues what we are faced in real time. Okay, that helps you to crack the interview, to get the job as soon as possible. The thing is, the people will come for trainings like C, Java and other courses. They will train the courses only for passion, or might be the subject is there in their curriculum. But SQL Server database, like infrastructure teams like Unix, DBAs and admins, these people don't have, these subjects don't have in our regular education curriculum. People will come with these courses to learn, to get a job, to crack the interview, and to getting a job, and to settle in IT field. Okay, so for that reason only, all this curriculum and training we have prepared in the real time basis, and each and every topic, whenever we're discussing any topic, we'll always discuss on real time what kind of issues in real time we are facing. Okay, and theory should be explained briefly. It should read and understand from yourself. If you have any doubts, I'm ready to help you guys. Okay.
I'm having.
We are going to. Yeah, tell me, Mary.
Actually, can I know? An example for syntax. What is what for the programming? How to build a data in the database tables?
Yeah, see, the syntax is in the sense. So, you mean to you want me to connect the SQL Server?
I want to see what is what.
So what is what in the sense in which
topic? Yes, how we are forming the tables in the database, and
okay,
for that how we can write the program, and how it's going to take. That part I'm asking.
Okay, Mayuri, the thing is, the SQL Server as a DBA is not responsible to create any database, any table, okay, until unless if you are getting any request from the application team or a client or requester in your organization to create a database, we are going to create. There is a script, okay, create database, and you have to give the database name. It might be anything, okay, and there will be a file system. We have defined the file system. In that way we have to creating a table also, the create table and table name, and we have defined the columns, and we need to insert the data. And all these things can be done using a graphical user interface. Once you install the SQL Server, you just connect to the SQL Server and connect to the database and right click on the database and create a table. It will give a pop-up. It will ask you what is your table name. So you have to define, suppose if you are inserting some employee related data, just give a table name as an employee, and after that it will ask how many columns. That has been defined by application team, okay. So all the tables related stuff will be done from the application end or developer end. As a DBA, your responsibility is data security, no data loss. Whenever application team and client and vendor is required the data, you have to provide till the time data, okay, and you should maintain the data. You should regularly do indexing on the table to access the data as quick as possible, like performance tuning. The performance of the database, performance of the table should be good, okay. Mayuri, is it okay? Still you have confusion?
No. Actually, can I know the difference between the, PL SQL and SQL is the same, right? The database, whatever we are giving the
Okay.
programming types.
So I understand you are asking something. What what is this? That's what, right?
No, not like that.
Not a problem. Yes, I understand the things what you thinking in
Confusion.
your mind.
Yes, confusion.
So yeah, and yeah, understand. Okay. So just I'll tell you one example. Okay. See, when you go to the ATM, you will withdraw some amount. Okay. So what will happen? You have to enter. There is a front end screen we'll be getting. This front end screen, the front end things will be defined, will be coding like Java or .NET, whatever the technology, okay. But the backend will be database. It might be SQL, it might be Oracle, it might be MySQL. Lot many databases is there. Suppose assume that it's a SQL database, okay. So there should be some repository. Whatever the transactions you have done through ATM, those transactions should be updated in one repository. That means one database. Data should be stored in the database, okay. Now my question is here. So your name is Mayuri. You just withdrawing amount. So where it will check? It will check your ATM 16-digit number, and it will verify your name, and it will verify your PIN number. Then it will accept to update or delete admin to retrieve the cash or withdraw or to take the mini statement, whatever it is. That means it will accept you to do some transactions. Here there is two things in backend. One is all these things will be done through coding. That coding is done by database developer, okay. And data is storing in repository. That the data is handled by database, okay. Database DBA, database administrator. That means database administrator is the owner of the data, and database developer is the person who retrieves the data for user requirements, okay. And now your question is, what is the basic difference PLSQL and SQL and SQL DBA, okay. PLSQL is a complete programming for Oracle, okay, and SQL is there in Oracle. We cannot say it's a SQL, it's a TSQL, TSQL, transaction structure query language. That means writing a small kind of queries like select, update, delete, all this kind of stuff. These SQL queries can be wrote in Oracle, SQL, MySQL, Sybase, any kind of stuff, same syntaxes. There is no change in syntaxes. Might be, suppose in Oracle if you are using a get date, in SQL you will use the sysdate. That is the just minute differences will be there, but the fundamental will be same. There is no change in the fundamental. PLSQL is something advanced, that is programming, functions, store procedures, some other stuff written, that is Oracle related stuff. Of course, in SQL also you can write the store procedure. There should be limits in the storing procedure, store procedures and all. Here, the SQL Server database administration is a kind of stuff. We are not going to teach any development concepts. We are not going to teach writing a query. We are not going to teach writing a store procedure. We are going to teach how to work with the data, how to secure the data, those kind of stuff, database DBA role. And now the question is, how will be the DBA job security comparatively developer? Developer can develop the data one time. Developer can develop the programs, can develop the application one time. But the application can be supported lifelong as a DBA. Suppose assume a Citibank. There is a big application for a Citibank. I'm one organizer. I'm working in one organization, and my team wrote lot of applications for Citibank, and we set up and we deployed, and there is a Citibank website is there, website is function. That's it. My job is completed. Then the support people, the support will start. So who supports the data? Suppose there is a issue. Mayuri want to withdraw some amount from the ATM. The problem is he cannot access his ATM card. There is a issue, slowness issue. So that DBA can check why this slow is there. Is there a network slow or database slowness is there? There is a huge number of data in the table. That's the reason retrieving the data we are getting a lot of time. To overcome these things, there are many techniques is there in the DBA, the performance tuning kind of stuff. We have to check what is the hardware requirements and what is the CPU, memory, this kind of stuff we have to check, and we have to fix some issues. After that, it will be very fast. Sometimes when you go to the bank, Mayuri, and the person sitting in the bank, if you ask, can you I need to check my account and all, people will say, please wait, the system is very slow. That means the web page is opening very slow. That means the web application is contacting the database is very slow. Why? Because the database accessed by huge number of persons, users at the time, it will be very slow. Maintaining those databases, maintaining those database repository, DBA will do. Okay, Mayuri, are you clear? Still you have some doubts?
It's clear. It's clear. It's clear. Thank you so
Mayuri,
much.
are you there?
Yes, thank you so much, Ram Mohan. It's clear.
So still you have doubts, you just ask me, because these are minute things. If you have a developer knowledge, that is added advantage to you if you learn the DBA, because if any requirement comes immediately, you can enhance your skills, you can use your existing skill development skills, you can do lot many beautiful things in the SQL Server if you have a development knowledge. If you don't have a development knowledge, always you have to do whatever the task. Yeah, tell me.
It's fine. It's clear.
Okay, Thomas, do you have any doubts, Thomas?
Nothing. We will carry on.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, thanks, Thomas. So Mayuri, see, this is the things we are going to discuss in coming classes. If you are happy with my demo, and we'll discuss all these things. Okay, so I think still it's not opened. So this is the one we have prepared, the interview oriented questions, job oriented questions, each topic wise. That will help you. This will help you to crack the interviews, because each topic we have prepared some questions, what kind of questions an interviewer will ask. Okay, and once we done with our course and last few session, we'll discuss about this interview questions. And because these questions not written separately, whatever the content we are discussing, this 30 days training or 40 days training, the same stuff we put in a questionnaire format. That's it. There is no change. Okay. I think it's a lot of pages. This is very slow. So these are the questions. So people will use to ask. We know we used to install the SQL Server. But the problem is which file, which folder, where is creating. When you go to the interview, people will ask to test you the real-time experience, the guy having real-time experience or not, and the guy having depth knowledge or not. People will always test your knowledge to asking, if you install a SQL Server, where these files will store, why you need to choose this folder, what is the importance of this folder. This kind of stuff people will ask. The same thing we are discussing in our training, but we are not going to discuss on questionnaire format, right? So that's why I prepared this document. This is all questionnaire format, so that you will get some knowledge. Okay, suppose this topic, module 1, SQL Server installation and configuration. So if I go for an interview, what kind of questions people will ask for installation configuration, so you will get an idea, right? That's it, Thomas and Mayuri. That's what the demo. This is the content, and I'm going to explain the coming training. And this is the things I'll be sharing to you people, and real-time scenarios and interview-oriented questions to crack the interviews. And each topic will discuss the subject or theoretical very less, and will most probably work with the practical knowledge, so that you will get more knowledge and real-time how the things will be. Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Thank you.
Thomas, do you have any questions?
Nothing.
Okay. So then we can wind up the call now. Mayuri?